dive right into the heart of controversy surrounding the Windsors. The illustrious and seemingly untouchable British royal family, the Windsors, find themselves at the centre of a heated debate. The Daily Mail, an influential voice in the UK, has made a bold claim that the Windsors are in danger of becoming just a group of celebrities. Isn't that a curious proposition? To some, this claim may seem laughable, perhaps even absurd, but if we dig a little deeper, we might find a kernel of truth hidden within this audacious statement. The Windsors, for all their regal grandeur and rich history, are not invincible. They are not immune to the pitfalls of poor leadership and the insatiable thirst for power that has led many dynasties to their demise. The royal sceptre, a symbol of authority and leadership, currently lies in the hands of King Charles and Prince William. Queen Elizabeth, in her wisdom, had hoped for a smooth transition of power. She envisaged a reign marked by strong leadership and unity. However, the reality seems to be veering off course. Omid Scobie, in his insightful book Endgame, reflects this sentiment. He suggests that the royal family's leadership is not meeting the expectations set by the Queen. Instead of steering the monarchy towards a brighter future, it appears to be heading in a different direction. The fault lines within the Windsors are becoming increasingly visible. And interestingly, the UK media, which has traditionally been a staunch defender of the royal family, now seems to acknowledge these cracks. The narrative around the Windsors is shifting, subtly but surely. The Windsors, once viewed as the epitome of power and prestige, are now being scrutinized under a harsher light. The question is not whether they will become just a group of celebrities. The real question is whether they can rise above their internal struggles and reclaim their place as a symbol of unity and strength. The Windsors are in danger, and it's not because of external factors, but because of their own shortcomings. The royal ship is in troubled waters, and it's the Windsors themselves who are at the helm. Now let's scrutinize the leadership of King Charles and Prince William. Queen Elizabeth, the longest reigning monarch in British history, had high hopes for the future of the royal family under the leadership of her son, King Charles, and her grandson, Prince William. She expected them to carry on her legacy of duty, service, and dignity. However, it appears that her expectations have been met with disappointment. King Charles' reign has been marred by controversies and scandals, with accusations of interference in political matters and a lack of judgment in personal affairs. His leadership has been questioned, with many suggesting that his actions have undermined the neutrality expected of the monarchy. Prince William, on the other hand, was seen as a beacon of hope for the modernization of the monarchy. But his actions have also raised eyebrows. He has been accused of being out of touch with the public and failing to uphold the values of transparency and accountability that the modern world expects from its leaders. The implications of these failures are far-reaching. The royal family, once a symbol of stability and tradition, now appears to be in a state of disarray. The respect and admiration that the Windsors once commanded are waning, replaced by skepticism and disillusionment. This decline in public sentiment is not just a reflection of changing societal attitudes towards the monarchy. It is a direct consequence of the failed leadership of King Charles and Prince William. Their inability to uphold the values and standards set by Queen Elizabeth has resulted in a crisis of confidence in the royal family. The royal family is not just a group of celebrities. They are representatives of the nation, custodians of its history, and symbols of its unity. However, under the current leadership, they seem to be losing sight of these responsibilities. The Windsors are in danger, not because they are becoming celebrities, but because their leaders are failing them. King Charles and Prince William's leadership has been anything but satisfactory, leading to the downfall of the royal family. Power and greed, a dangerous cocktail that has seeped into the fabric of the Windsors. This intoxicating blend, rather than uniting them, has led to a deep-rooted infighting that now threatens the very foundation of this centuries-old institution. In their quest for power, the members of the royal family have forgotten the essence of leadership, which lies in service and not supremacy. They have allowed their personal ambitions to overshadow their royal duties, creating a chasm between them and the people they are meant to serve. The seeds of this power struggle were sown years ago, and they have now blossomed into a full-blown crisis. Each passing day brings with it a new chapter in this never-ending saga of power and greed. The battle lines have been drawn, and the royal family finds itself embroiled in a struggle not just for power, but for relevance and survival. In their greed for power, the Windsors have lost sight of their purpose. They have forgotten that they are not just celebrities, but symbols of unity and tradition. Their actions, driven by lust for power, have only served to further alienate them from the public, tarnishing their image and causing an irrevocable decline in their popularity. But perhaps the most damaging consequence of this power struggle is the division it has caused within the family itself. The infighting has not only weakened the royal family, but it has also cast a shadow over their future. With each passing day, the unity of the Windsors seems more like a distant memory, a relic of a bygone era. And so we find ourselves in a situation where the royal family, once revered and respected, now stands on shaky ground. Their greed for power has not only undermined their public image, but it has also threatened the very existence of the monarchy. The royal family's greed for power has only served to tarnish their legacy. The UK media, once a staunch supporter, now sings a different tune. The media landscape in Britain, traditionally a fortress of support for the monarchy, has seen a significant shift in its stance. This change is not sudden or arbitrary, but rather a reflection of the mounting controversies and failures of the Windsors. The media, like a mirror, reflects the state of society. It shapes public opinion and holds a significant influence on the perception of the monarchy. For decades, the UK media has been the monarchy's steadfast ally, painting a picture of grace, tradition, and stability. But even this alliance seems to be cracking under the weight of the Windsors' actions. The Daily Mail, one of the UK's most widely read tabloids, recently claimed that the Windsors are in danger of being reduced to mere celebrities. This is a telling statement, a sharp departure from the usual reverence and unquestioning support. It's a clear indication that the media is starting to acknowledge the royal family's failures. Prolific royal commentator Omid Scobie, in his book Endgame, pointed out that Queen Elizabeth had hoped for better leadership from King Charles and Prince William. But the current direction of the monarchy has been far from satisfactory. This sentiment has been echoed across various media platforms, further emphasizing the growing disillusionment. The Guardian, known for its investigative reporting, has also been vocal about the royal family's shortcomings. Their critical pieces highlight the lack of leadership and the unchecked greed for power within the monarchy. This shift in narrative is significant, marking the media's departure from its traditional role as the monarchy's cheerleader. This change in the media's stance is not an isolated phenomenon. It is a reflection of the broader public sentiment and a response to the Windsors' actions. The media has a responsibility to present a balanced view, and it seems they are finally living up to that. Even the UK media can no longer ignore the evident failures of the royal family. The Windsors, a dynasty on the brink of collapse. The regal lineage, once the epitome of power and prestige, now finds itself teetering on the edge of irrelevance and failure. The overarching narrative we've been exploring throughout this video is one of a dynasty in decline, a royal family failing to adapt to the changing times and succumbing to its own shortcomings. The failures of the Windsors are multifaceted, rooted deep within the family structure and the very system that upholds it. We've discussed the inadequacies in leadership, with King Charles and Prince William demonstrating a lack of the necessary vision and resolve to steer the royal family in the right direction. The absence of a clear, strategic blueprint for the future, coupled with a fixation on preserving a status quo that's rapidly becoming obsolete, has only served to hasten the decline. Then there's the insatiable greed for power that's been an undercurrent in many of the Windsors' actions. This unchecked ambition, rather than bolstering the family's standing, has instead led to infighting, scandal, and public disillusionment. The Windsors, in their quest for power, have lost sight of their duty to the people, to the nation they're meant to serve. Finally, we've touched upon the role of the UK media. Once the staunch defenders of the royal family, they too have started to acknowledge the Windsors' precarious position. The protective veil is lifting, revealing the cracks in the royal facade. The implications of these failures are profound. The Windsors are not simply at risk of becoming another group of celebrities, fading into the background of public consciousness. They stand on the precipice of becoming a failed dynasty, a relic of a bygone era, remembered more for their fall from grace than their centuries-long reign. The Windsors are not in danger of becoming mere celebrities, they're in danger of becoming a failed dynasty. This sobering thought should serve as a wake-up call, a clarion call for change. but whether it will be heeded, only time will tell.